should live his life. We don't have to be here if we stay. We don't have to leave if we go. Roll some more. And we ain't too high, we see eye to eye. So you feel the rush from a simple touch. Baby, roll some more.
We live. What's up, y'all? It's Thursday, and we just chilling. We a little late, but what's a few minutes? You know what I'm saying? But we here though. Yeah. Yeah, this that grown people shit. Yeah. Cheers. I would say grab your snacks, but don't do that just yet. I'm gonna play another song and then we'll say what's up to y'all. This nigga drinking out of a coffee cup. Oh shit.
Oh, it's on and cracking tonight.
It's rough. We couldn't even talk ahead of time, y'all. It's rough, but we here. The next song is called "Fuck Relationships." Uh-oh. Come on. All right, y'all. Let's go. Everybody take a seat. Liz is in the building. Tia's in the building. Wipe Downs in the building. Cherokee's in the building. Mary Ann's in the building. And everybody else. Let's go.
You would have heard me say that damn, that's daddy this bad, yeah. I seen them chicks out our way. I'm like, ooh. But now I feel so stupid because you used to be my roommate. And now we can't even talk. Why can't we never get this right? You can never say I didn't try. Cause boy, I put up that fight. For 4 years, I poured tears. But man, fuck that. I done dried them up. I done cried enough. I had your back, boy, through the floss and all. I was fucking with you.
You've done it all.
I know it's still a part of my life. So stupid and foolish. Why'd you have to do me? So I'm like, fuck relationships. I like you from the better fuck relationships. I like money is better fuck relationships. Being single is stressful and never do you wrong fuck relationships. I like counting the better fuck relationships. I like money is better fuck relationships. Being single is stressful and never do you got this built up anger, sleeping with a stranger. Now you just an enemy, can't even be no friend of me. No, you ain't real, you just pretend to be. You know that you ain't real, you just pretend to be. And that all goes to show that you never know who you're dealing with.
You never know who you're dealing with. Come on.
I'm so full of filth, and now I'm full of guilt. And you a trip, how you trick my mind? Man, how the hell was I so blind? And where you find the time to bet I can't rewind, I can't trip. I should've listened to them signs. I should've never been so kind. I should've never made you mine. Oh no. Relationships I don't need it. Want it, don't need it. I don't wanna believe it. Most of them guys just sing mad fuck relationships. I like my name. I like money, it's better. I like money is better. Relationships.
morning.
Yeah, that's some cold shit.
Want it, don't need it. I don't wanna believe. So I like relationships. I like counting up better relationships. I like money is better relationships.
She said, I like money. It's better. Uh-oh.
And it would cost too much money to be made. A girl like me rather get paid. The boys was lame anyway. I'd rather save for rainy days than I have my face rain like rainy days.
Well, she said, fuck it.
Yeah. I guess
I'd rather have the money. Just give me the money and I'll save for a rainy day than to fuck with you. It's too much fucking work. Hello?
Yeah. She apparently, I guess, needless to say, she definitely wasn't feeling something.
She going through it. She going through
her
something.
all the way off.
Yeah, she going through it.
She said.
How much time do we need to give her before you think she might switch up on us? She need 30 days. You think 6 months?
Oh well, no, that's just the first track off the new release. I guarantee you, 2 through 10. Oh yeah.
That nigga said that's track number 1. Just by the time you get to 8, she's married. Is she married or she got babies? One of the two.
Yeah, she already got a baby.
We are
That's
not
why
making,
she's saying fuck these relationships.
we are
I'm sick of this
making
shit.
a narrative. We have a complete storyline. Wait, we done made some shit up. Okay, let's go.
Hey, who is that though?
Her name is Mar Monroe. Mar Monroe, all together.
Okay, Mar.
I never heard of her before. I just found that out.
Yeah, her voice definitely sounded unique. But I was like, I wonder if I got some of her music already.
I like that. I like that. You know, that type of R&B. You know, I don't know what to call it. But So anyway.
Ooh, that's not even one of her most popular songs. That's crazy. Yeah.
We're gonna have to check her out fully.
Have you ever listened to Jazz Karis?
No. Jazz Karis?
Karis. It could be Karis or something like that. I don't know.
Let me see. Karin. I'm just gonna look it up. I'm not gonna.
J-A-Z.
J-A-Z-Z or just Z?
J-A-Z.
Oh, J-A-Z. And it's K-A? Oh, I found
R-I-S.
I found it.
You ever heard any of her music?
No, I don't even know who she is.
Man, I'm gonna sing you.
What song do you like?
She got quite a few, but hold on. One of the ones I was just listening to recently.
She got a new single out called Tequila.
Pretty Dreamer is dope. I like that one.
Pretty Dreamer.
I like Little Blue Moon. Chill on Me is fly. And those are the main ones I know about. Side of You is good too, but she got some really interesting music as far as her wordplay, which kind of reminded me of Fuck Relationships. She's not saying that, but is
it soft?
Most of the stuff I listen to is kind of the same genre.
Oh yeah, you know Tia don't like that. She said you changed.
You see, Tia is different.
She said you changed since you became a grandfather. Your music choice has changed, and every week you pick the same type of slow shit. I'm starting to think she might be on to something. I'm not sure now. You have been picking slow shit. I don't know if it's where your moon is set.
It might be that. You know what I mean? Because I'm in. You know what? Why the fuck am I even?
You're in your soft girl era.
No, why am I dignifying this shit? Tia, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, Tia didn't say it tonight. I don't want to put it on her tonight, but I'm just recalling. So I said it.
So tonight. Is it possible she never said that?
No, she actually did. Now she actually said that. Now she talked about you picking these soft songs. She ain't with it now. But anyway, listen, we got to do our intro.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm Nirvana.
And I am the Dynamicist.
And we're Unlatched. Okay.
Which ultimately means.
What?
Which ultimately means we could go any which way. You never know. We're educated. I wouldn't go so far as to say and ratchet.
Oh, you don't think we're ratchet?
I don't think ratchet would be the term for us. I don't think so. I think we have a different category.
I think we're real well-rounded.
Yes.
And I use educated loosely for me. Now you actually have paperwork.
That doesn't mean you're not educated. It does not mean that.
Okay, I'm not formally educated. Is that what it means?
Yeah, there's a way you could say that. You could say that, but
I'm not formally educated.
Yeah, but that's just indicating like a tradition in which we go about doing things. But nah, you got some sauce. You be knowing quite a few things.
Okay.
I listen to you most of the time.
Let me ask you this. What's wrong? What happened? Are you okay? Are you stressed out? You look like you just kind of like flew in. Like you look like you literally jumped out the car, ran in the house, threw the shit up, and said, "Hit play." And here I am.
It's something like that. Yeah, it was definitely something like that.
So today, are you okay?
Today was something. It was real live. It was live. Actually, this week has been live. Okay. It's been a live scenario. It was a lot of challenges today.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am okay. I am well.
Okay.
I am very well.
So, okay. Nothing we need to alert. Worried about.
No, nothing like that.
Nothing you can't get through.
Oh, that's for sure.
Because you could just call me.
No.
You could call me.
And do what?
I mean, just call me and we'll talk about it.
And we could talk about it?
We'll talk about it. And if you need to come over.
I can't do that.
Oh, you can't leave your house and come over?
No, I mean, you live like a whole 2 states away.
I know.
It's like, what are we going to do? How are we going to pull that off?
I know. And then you have the caretaker who's stealing shit. You definitely can't leave now.
Oh, no.
She's going to go rat. You let you leave for a long period of time, nigga. Let's tell him about y'all. Listen to he's got an issue, y'all. What is he supposed to do? We need you guys' advice.
Okay, so YouTube. Did you put that as a title on this one or no? Because I don't see it running on the banner.
Yeah, I didn't put it on the banner, but it's the title. No worries, the one you told me. I know you fucking lied.
Yeah. So tell me why.
Okay.
Tell me why. My caregiver. I mean, this motherfucker is stealing left and right. But what's the crazy part about it is it's not even big shit. It's not shit that I'll be mindful about, which probably is the reason why it's the shit she's taking. But what's crazy is it's like the pettiest, smallest, insignificant shit that you all you had to do was ask. Just ask me for it. And 9 chances out of 10, I'm gonna say, "Oh yeah, that's cool. I don't care." But the fact is, you're doing it and then not saying anything about it, and I know that it's happening, and I feel like I'm fucking in between a rock and a hard place with this one because I definitely need the help. But does that mean that I have to get robbed blindly and I gotta make a hella like store runs and shit because
I chocolate drop
taking shit? I don't know. I don't.
Okay, that's a good point. This is the thing, though. Now, you guys, Jason and I have talked about this already, and when I tell you, I was on the floor laughing my ass off because he brought it up to me about his suspicion about this caregiver taking shit out the house, right? We were just randomly on the phone and he was in Walmart. Because I was like, why the fuck are you outside, nigga? It's 11:30 p.m. or some shit. Like, it was late as fuck. And I'm like, why are you outside, bro? He was like, as a matter of fact, I think the caretaker's taking shit. And I was like, what? First of all, I had never heard nothing about this caretaker stealing shit. Okay, period. So this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I'm like, what? So I'm like thinking, is a jewelry, a ring. You know, he wears that pinky ring. You know, maybe she took the ring. I'm not sure. So anyway, this nigga said, I had bottled water. I said, bottled water? And he's like, yeah. And then because his mom told him, well, you need some more bottled water in the house, whatever. And he's like, didn't I just buy some? So after, you know, we're having a conversation, he's figuring it out. As he and I are talking about it, you guys, like more shit is coming to light. Like it opens some type of Pandora's box. And he's like, you know what? As a matter of fact, my mom said she might be taking the table saw. What? The table saw? Who is stealing table saw? Like what? So anyway, so Jason, let me ask you this.
This is what happens.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what happens when the thought seeps in and you start to give it credence. It's like, hold on. This, that, and the third. It's like, okay, yeah, I can see all this shit has been happening. Matter of fact, what else?
Not looking around, Jason.
What else?
That nigga was
hold on, because I swear I know I'm missing silverware in this motherfucker. I'm missing all kinds of shit.
Wait, you said you noticed some cleaning supplies. Look, y'all, I took cleaning supplies. Them motherfuckers can be kind of expensive. I'm like, she going too far with that shit. Table saw, okay, but cleaning supplies. But anyway, so look, we're clowning, but the thing is this. And this is where it becomes and he and I have spoken multiple times, and I know the challenges he has with our grandfather and being his caregiver. And our grandfather's in his 90s, and Jason has taken on the task of being his caregiver. Okay, I mean, are you considered a caregiver? I guess so, right? Okay. So that he doesn't have to be in a facility, right? So we applaud that. I mean, because I love him, but he can't come here. Okay, so we love Jason. So now, with that being said, there comes challenges that I have never thought of. First of all, my own father's in a home because in all fairness, I'm in another state, and my grandmother wants him closer. But that's neither here nor there. But being a caretaker or caregiver, I don't know what the proper term is, for someone is a challenge in and of itself. And so we're making light of it, but I also want to take a step because all the traveling that Jason does, and he's living his life, and he's a new grandfather, and he rekindling with family. He has a lot going on. He's trying to live his life as a new single. I don't know are you still considered newly single? How many years has it been?
I'm not newly at all.
Okay, it's been some years. He's not newly, but
it's been like 5-6 years.
5 or 6 years. Okay, so he's doing his own thing. But when you have somebody you have to take care of, honestly, it ties you down. And like he'll be like, he's like, I don't know how I'm gonna catch this flight, at which he's trying to make sure my grandfather has everything he needs. So fast forward to you get an agency, right? So tell him about how you found.
So I get this agency through social networks, right? Not like social media or anything like that, but social. What do they call them? Social welfare networks, if you will, right? So it's like through Medicare, Medicaid, shit like that. So I get this organization, right? And the very first person I had, she was amazing. Like she was fucking great. And from her, she elevated within the company and then moved on, right? And since then, it's been this revolving door. I'll have periods where I have.
That's the one I met, right?
Yeah,
that's the one I met. I liked her. She was so cool. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Then after her, it's been this revolving door from people not giving the medication to my grandfather to mixing up the medication. One time, one lady doubled up on his medication, and I have them in cups, like the little weekly things, right? And it's like, okay, so you go through all these extents to make these tasks simple for people, right? I'm putting the medication in there. I know what needs to happen in the morning, what happens in the evening, woo. And then you get a phone call when you're out of the state and someone says, "Hey, we're running out of meds." How is that possible?
Right.
How is that possible? This is set up for a week.
Right.
It's been 3-4 days at this point.
There's
What's
no way
going
you
on?
should be out. Right.
I'm talking about. Then you're worried about the hospital visit, and then it's like, what the fuck is going on?
You're
So
out of
then,
town. That's what even.
yeah. That was a tough one because I was out of town during
Right.
that time. But then you know this most recent one, it was just kind of like the same thing, right? So it's like you go through all this stuff and you try to set the stuff in place because the burden is pretty high, and there's a lot of people I'm finding out that are in positions to where they're caregivers. And they're burning the fuck out. And a part of what my issue is, because even finding this company, you really do feel like I need someone to help me carry the burden.
Yeah.
Right? Fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
I've got the majority of the stuff and I'm gonna take care of the majority of it anyway.
Right.
But if you could fill in the gaps, one of the reasons, obviously, I was in a different mental space, but I remember my dad making a comment like, "Man, I can't go nowhere," and I would see how that used to affect him, and I didn't understand it until I got in that position. Because even when you have children, right, it's easy to find people to watch a kid, but then it still has its challenges, right? I'm not outruling that, but kids are cute, they're simple, blah 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 blah. They can hop in the car and go with you wherever. But when you're dealing with an elderly person, oh, it's a whole fucking nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. So this leads us to what happened, right? Is I'm finding out I keep buying the same shit over and over and over again because naturally I'm like, man, fuck it. I just got to get the stuff done. And I can't afford to not have somebody here. I go to work. I have to leave. I got to go to the store. I can't afford to be gone for prolonged periods of time and then not have somebody in position so that at least you can be eyes and ears if something happens, right? Type shit. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, definitely a challenge. And then see, this is my thing too. Like, I tell my son, be prepared to take care of me, and I'm dead ass. I'm serious. I'm not joking with him. Like,
but why are you gonna do that to him?
I don't care. Just let me finish. So I'm giving you plenty of notice. You've had years. You've known this from jump. So get it right? But what's important is that he understands that it's gonna come with challenges and what's crazy about it is I don't want to say that money isn't is necessarily not your challenge because it is very expensive if you're going to pay out of pocket. Like if you want to use insurance and things of that nature, you have to follow the rules. You have to use certain things, ways you have to go about it to get a caretaker. If you're gonna pay out of pocket, you damn near gotta be rich because the shit, especially if you want it. Because remember, we were doing the pricing like when Jason wanted to go out of town, and we were trying to find somebody that you trust that you could just pay the motherfucker, like the one you like, just give her cash. Well, that shit is expensive as fuck, bro. Like for the amount of time that you want this motherfucker to be there, and these are things that we don't think about. And why this is important is because anybody who's listening to this podcast, listen. If you're either a caretaker, have been one, or will need to be taken care of, or will have to take care of somebody, any motherfucker is at some point in your life, you're gonna fall in one of them motherfucking categories, and each one of them is gonna have their own challenges. And how do you prepare for that? So I'm preparing by telling my son what he has to do while I'm still in my right mind and setting up the expectations. Nigga, I wish you would. type shit. That's all I'm leaning on, and the Lord. So, Jason, what's your plan? Talk to me. I told you mine. What's yours? I'm dead ass.
It's not up for discussion.
Okay.
You know that, that's a really good point, because it's like, preparing, right, for what's going to come, and wanting to make the process as simple as possible for the people that's around you, etc. For me, a lot of that now is also setting the expectation. Like, I'm a pretty low maintenance type of individual. I don't need a lot. So I'm pretty cool. My daughter's already told me, she said, she volunteered this information because she saw me going through this shit. She said, Dad, I'm not going to be able to do it. She said,
the kids are funny as hell. Yeah.
She said that y'all going to have to go to a home, because I just don't have the ability. And I said, okay, that's cool. I said, it is what it is. I don't expect you to do anything particular as it relates to me. It's my responsibility. While I have the ability to make those adjustments or whatnot, put away money for that type of care, whatever I said, it's up to me to do. So I'm putting away money, but you're going to be in charge of everything anyway.
I was going to say that, yeah, because I mean, that's fair too. Because it's like, if you can afford, because for you to even stay in a facility, like, I'm going to say for a decent facility, like $4,000 a month, y'all, for somebody be taken care of. That's how much you almost need to have. You have to have.
That's a minimum, because I spent when I was looking back through my records for the caregiving shit that I was gone, I wasn't even gone for a month. I spent over $4,000. And that was out of pocket shit, right?
Right.
So then it was like, but did I need to do what I need to do? Yes, I needed to do it. This last trip that I was on, I was gone for like 3-something weeks, and my mom was here. That was a blessing.
Yeah,
a blessing, because I didn't have to spend that money, but that money would have been close to like $7,000 if I was gone for 3 weeks. When you start doing the math and you consider the weekly care rates, what it costs, y'all, this shit is fucking nuts.
Right.
So let me give you the other part, though.
And our grandfather has great benefits. Like, he ain't broke. Like, imagine, you know what I'm saying, that you're taking care of somebody who has absolutely nothing to offer. I mean,
that part.
That plays a part too.
Yeah. Oh, man. So he has like the coverages, and those coverages will only cover to a degree, and then you come out of pocket for whatever the rest. But I was thinking about this, like, I'm like, listen, put me on a plane and send me overseas.
Not old.
I'm gonna find me a tree, and I'm gonna be good. Just let me sit over there.
Tree?
Huh?
What you mean a tree? TREE?
Yeah, find a tree.
TREE. It's only 2. I said EEE.
It's okay.
A random tree.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do at the tree?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna live there.
And this is in your right mind that you came up with this. I hate to see what your plan is.
Give me by the beach.
Okay.
At a tree.
Okay.
I'm straight.
So there's trees on beaches. I guess, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's trees on beaches.
Okay. I need to get out.
Yeah, that's all I need. I'm gonna be good. And from there I'll be able to figure it out.
Right. Hoping you're in your right mind.
Hey, whether I am or am not,
just send you over there.
All right. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, just know I love everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's real shit. Okay, so look, back to the stealing ass. Okay, this is where we need some help. Don't mind my avatar. This is where we need some help at. Well, we need everybody to say, like, she's stealing snacks and small items at this point. I told him that if he and this is by suspicion. I initially said we need nanny cams. We need to lock her down. We need to prove it. because she can escalate and start stealing major shit. Okay. Now, my husband said, just tell him to tell the bitch you've installed cameras and you're just giving her a courtesy notice because you don't want anybody to not know that there's cameras have been installed and it's just for everybody's safety and our grandfather, blah blah blah, right? And then the bitch would just be too scared because she's not gonna know where the cameras are. So she'll just stop doing what she's doing because now she knows she's being watched, and he didn't have to spend no real money or nothing like that. And I thought that was brilliant. What did you think? You thought that was what do you think about that?
That's an option. I actually have cameras. I have like 4 of them for inside.
Mm-hmm.
And but my thing is that outside of the safety piece, I'm like, I'm not about to be sitting here watching nobody during the day. I don't have the energy. I would rather you not be here because I live with this philosophy, right? If I can't trust you with my wallet sitting out on the table, then you really don't belong in my space.
I agree with that, but you can't. Who else are you? Your problem is that who else are you gonna use or
Well,
get?
I think that's the piece, right? So I think you come to a point where desperation sets in, and then we start doing desperate shit. You start putting up with shit that you really shouldn't put up with. And I've had to replace a couple different people for things that just like, okay, I'm not playing. I'm not going to be okay with that. In this case, she does show up and she's consistent. Okay. Now she may come one way and leave another way. Mm-hmm. That's always a part of the scenario
with items.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the items are small. They're not. That's why your point is, I could just go get more water. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it really wasn't the water. It's all the other little shit that I'm noticing that I have to keep doing. And then you know what kills me though? This is the part that got me really thinking. I made a comment about I have a cabinet in the kitchen. It has nothing to do with the food, has nothing to do. It has like his meds and shit like that. And you don't do meds. I do meds. Mm-hmm. But somehow she knew what was in the back of a cabinet. And it was just like, and she just said it casually, right?
Yeah, she messed it
up. To myself, I said, how in the fuck would you know that? Unless you were rummaging through the cabinets. And why would you be rummaging through the cabinets when, hey, here's his meal, this is his medicine.
It's a cabinet you don't need to be in. It's a cabinet that has nothing to do with
nothing. It has no relationship to what you do.
Right.
So that was one of the early signs. I said, okay, so she be looking around through shit, going into shit. I used to see her, like I'll be in the back of the house, and then I would see her standing like creeping through the hallway. And I'm like, why are you walking like this? Why are you what are you actually trying to accomplish here?
Right.
So long story short, I just would look at her kind of like with this puzzled look. I'm not going about my business, but I'm knowing, right? And I think that's the part where I've been falling into this whole notion of, man, I just need somebody in position. It's small shit, fuck it.
So whatever
I haven't seen any checks come up missing. I ain't seen no charges on my account. No shit like that.
And your mom is there. I don't know how long she plans to be there, but her being there does help some.
Oh yeah, in a real way.
You're not there. There's still a person there, like some.
Yeah, this last couple weeks, yeah, it's been very helpful. But even she was kind of aware because I had never said anything to her about his behavior, and I didn't know why I didn't like her necessarily. But I'm a very sensitive. Like I feel energy and I pick up on shit.
Yeah.
And listen, let me tell you something. And I don't know if I alluded to this last night, but tell me why. Ladies, let me say this too. Mm-hmm. If you present yourself as less than ideal,
okay. What does that mean? Less than ideal?
I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
Don't be telling nobody about your daughter. Mm-hmm. Don't be trying to hook your daughter up with no. Because if you are the representation of what we got to deal with, oh hell no. She told me about her daughter. She said, "Oh yeah, my daughter is single and woo to woo to woo, and she watches some of the same shit you watch. Woo to woo to woo. Yeah, you should give her a call. Whatever. I talked to her about you. Yeah. Thank you. Negative.
Not I talked to her about you. Hope, ma'am. Wait a minute. So you telling me your daughter doesn't have table salt? Because that's all I'm stuck on that. So basically, all the shit you stealing: gloves, fruit snacks, table salt, water. Okay.
Yo,
So she don't have none of that. You stealing it from me, and the apple doesn't fall far from the
not too
tree.
far.
Girl.
And it's not even the fact it was doing. It's the principle of it. It's so small
Not
and
her,
insignificant. Like, why not just ask? But don't act like I don't know.
Nobody's asking for that, bro.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the other shit that just has nothing to do with nothing. Like, just ask, like, hey, I need this, or I need to take this, or whatever. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. But if you can't even give the common decency to just ask the question, but you just say, fuck it, I'm gonna just snatch it up just because. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with
That's
your mom. Like,
problematic to me.
if she's a
Invasive.
cunt, like your mom said, like that's a condition, right? It
Could be.
really, you really, yeah.
Mm.
I don't that it's a condition, so she's just doing it. But okay, let me put myself in your shoes really quick. If the tables were turned and that was happening, let's say I'll just use my husband. I'm at home. I'm his caretaker because it's two people, right? And so I need to bring somebody in to help me. Blah blah blah. Okay, and pickings are slim in reference to the people that I can get and blah blah blah. Um, what would I do if I started to notice small things missing? My issue would be like not having proof. I would be stuck on it's it's intuition. I just feel like it. Like I want, and I was telling Jason, it's like I want to bust your ass with video. I really do. I want to be able to play a video in front of you and tell you, bitch, do it again. Type shit. Right? Like, but I don't have any cameras, but I'm like, okay, shit is coming up missing. I'm like, so what do I do? You know,
Yeah.
do you have the conversation with the person, because you feel something about her, Jason, but you don't necessarily dislike her, but it's something about her that's off, but you're willing to keep her around even though she's still in little shit, because you're like, it's minor, I mean, but she's doing what I need her to do, and she's consistent, she shows up on time. This is for somebody that's taking care of somebody that's ill, that has to work and has shit to do. That kind of shit where motherfuckers is here when they're supposed to be here, you can depend on them, like that has a lot of value. So
we do the same thing with relationships though too.
Okay.
Right, we make the exchange, and we say, well,
hi kids,
I'm
hi
gonna deal, what's good,
Kendra.
Ken? I'm gonna deal with the shit that I know they do or
Mhm.
have to deal with versus the things that I don't know, right? With the unknowns out there in the street.
Mhm.
And I think part of that is like we gotta come to this equilibrium, if you will, like a place of like a balance.
Balance, yeah.
Because should I, for me personally, I think I think to a degree, a lot of that has been my waving the flag, if you will,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna have to say that
Mhm.
because of not wanting to add another fucking hurdle that I have to now address, then ultimately I have to deal with in whatever way.
Okay.
Because, like, for instance, there's a statistic out there. AARP released some numbers, and they were saying that last year alone, over 20 billion was reported missing as it relates to caregiver theft.
Wow.
So does that mean that it's happening everywhere to everyone? No. But does it mean that it does happen?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It does happen. And so one of the things that, because I do know there was conversations like about finances and some shit going on or whatever the case may be, but it is what it is. But I think that's where you have to be willing to draw the line, and you have to be willing to sacrifice for what's really important for you. And in this case, I hadn't been. So do I really feel like I have a leg to stand on to be like, well, I'm so appalled? Really? Nah, nigga, you opened the door to that and you knew there was a problem, but you didn't do anything about the problem.
Well, now, are you referring this to relate? You're saying you're looking at it from a relationship standpoint, like, or are you saying just with the character?
I'm actually dealing with this particular issue, but if you think about it in terms of relationship, does it really differ though? Like when you think about it, like, because here's the thing, I feel like I'm just tied into this scenario.
So are you saying you feel stuck? Like you don't have an option?
There you go.
But you always have options.
You always have one.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's an
Sometimes,
excuse, I guess, right? That's an excuse. Is that what we're saying?
There you go. Right? Mm-hmm. Because for me to allow something to continue going in a direction that I know is not healthy, what the fuck am I doing? Now, I don't know. And I think that's where
we're hoping. I'll tell you what when you stay in a situation, whether it is a friendship, a caregivership, employment, a friendship, girlfriend, boyfriend, a marriage, whatever. When you stay in some shit that has given signs of unhealthy behavior, whatever that is, everybody has their personal reason for staying, depending on the scenario, depending on their experiences in life, depending on whatever. But relationships only continue because each party is getting something from it. It might sound fucked up, but the truth is nobody stays connected to an energy, whatever that is, without getting something from it. Even if it's something toxic that you're getting from it, that's feeding something in you. Whether it's healthy or toxic, it doesn't matter. That energy, and I'm saying energy because there's so many.
No. I like that term. Right? I think that's the perfect term for it.
You are getting something from it. So I think step number one, I'm going to use your scenario with the caretaker, just because that's what we've been talking about, who's taking care and been at the house. Now, Kendra said, if you can't trust the motherfucker, she got to go. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It don't matter. But my question would be, to my theory, what is Jason, the dynamicist, what is he getting from it? Well, he stated what he's getting from it is stability. He knows that whatever time she's supposed to be there, he can go and do what he needs to do. He knows she's going to show up. As of now, he knows she might take table salt, little shit. She ain't took no rings or jewelry yet. Okay? This is shit he can just go to Walmart and replace. So to him, it's minor, but he understands the underline that, at the end of the day, a thief is a thief. Okay? But what is he getting from it? Okay, so let's go. If you're working a job you fucking can't fucking stand, let's keep it above. We all are working these motherfucking jobs because what are we getting from it? A paycheck, money, retirement, a vacation. I mean, like, if I quit my job tomorrow, no matter how much I fucking hate it, I'm losing something. So as I can talk bad about my job all day long, at the end of the day, I'm getting something from it. That's why I'm here. Now, there's people that can just walk away from their job because they're willing to say, fuck it, I'll just start over. I don't give a fuck if I got to live in a cardboard box to start over. I'm not staying here. right? So I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make it relatable to everybody, because no matter what scenario you're in and what your situationship is, you are there because you're getting something from it. And I think the first thing is just figure out what it is you're getting from it and why you're still there. You don't have to tell anybody, but you have to be honest with yourself. And then the hardest part for me is to then, I could admit it all day long, but the next part is action. So now that you know the caretaker is taking shit, what is the next move? We joked about it on the phone, but do you want to make a move, or is it still worth you staying in that situationship?
So I think when you value something and there is an exchange, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, what the most pertinent thing to do now is to have the conversation.
Okay.
To have the conversation.
Yeah.
Because at this point, yes, I could up and say, listen, I don't want this person here. I can do all that. I can say that. That's not a problem. But I do value relationships. And maybe this is something that has been perceived in whatever way for that, because I do feel like it's somewhat minor. But I also know that with human behavior, those minor things, like if I can't trust you with the little shit, there's no way I can trust you with big shit. Period. Right? It just doesn't work like that, because there's a passage in scripture. I love this passage, but it says the small foxes is what spoils the vine. But what does that mean? It's like you're building all these fences for the large shit, the bears and the pumas and all that shit, eating all the fruit off the vine, but you're leaving the small holes you're leaving open. Well, that's actually what you're letting in, the small foxes, and they're the ones that's getting through there eating all the fruit off your vine, which is why you don't have fruit in your season. So there's a principle to this, right? Is that we're sometimes focused on the large things and then we ignore the small things. Well, I think there's a paradigm shift with that, right? Because the small things can be the things that ultimately are ruining the progress that you're trying to make. So for me, I'm going to have the conversation. And then the conversation in essence is, this is what is concerning me, and here's what my expectation is. Here's what I don't mind. And here's what I would prefer, right? I would prefer this. Now, moving forward, after you have that conversation, okay, you do what you're going to do. And then at that point, I'm going to do what I do.
So when you have that conversation, okay. Hey, East Dad, how are you? So when you have that conversation with the caretaker or whatever caregiver, you say my concern is that things are missing. I'm starting to figure out things. Small things are missing, and are you saying that I suspect that it's you, or because I'm concerned about her just saying I didn't do it and doing all this and getting defensive.
No, I'm a little bit more tactful than that.
Okay.
Because there's a way in which you can put information out there, and then people will kind of tell on themselves, right? So I don't have to necessarily tell her, hey, I think you're the one stealing. It's not necessary, because at this point it's irrelevant, right? The point of the matter is, this is how I feel about these behaviors. This is what bothers me. So here's what I'd like to do. If there are some things, because I need to keep an accurate inventory, because I am spending a lot of additional money on these items, right? And I do value you being here. I had a caregiver asking for loans at one time, and I did it a couple times. Oh yeah.
Oh, asking you for like on the side, like they came over and was like, "Can I get 20? Like how much?"
No, like, can I get an advance for next week? Can I this, that, or the third? Hey, can I get paid for this, and then I'll pay you back Friday.
Wow.
And so, but I have my own personal philosophy on that is, if I can do it, if I can give you something Like, for instance, I don't give anything that I'm not willing to lose. Period. Right? If it's finances, I remember my spiritual father told me this years ago. He said, when it comes to you loaning money, he said, if you can't afford to lose that money and give that money away, then you probably shouldn't give it, because if it doesn't come back to you, that's going to put you in a bind with that individual. And that's can potentially ruin a friendship or relationship, right?
Right.
So I said, I like that. And I appreciate that. So I adopted that early, which is, if I can't afford to give this and let it ride, because I'm not about to be sitting here mad at you.
Right.
I'd rather you be upset at me because I didn't do something you wanted me to do than for me to be upset. Yeah, me to be upset because you didn't do something you said you was going to do.
Right. Okay.
That's a totally different ball game for me. So,
right.
So anyway, but I give room, and then if you abuse the room, then I make the adjustment.
So that's the next step. You're gonna have a conversation with her, and then we'll kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
But please keep us updated, because I want to know how this conversation goes, and I think everybody here wants to know. Now that we've opened up this can of worms, I mean, this is a story time. I want to know what's gonna, and I would like to say she is a Black woman. I know. Some of you guys think it doesn't matter, but I did ask that. And it made me sick to my stomach. It's like, oh no. And she's a grandmother. Like, ma'am.
Yeah, I was listening.
Why are you an older Black woman doing that?
It could be a lot of things.
What were you reading?
Socioeconomics, but I was going to say, because Kendra had a comment too, and she was talking about she went through a lot of that when it came to her dad. And then being his caregiver, and then feeling like you can't go anywhere. And that's a real issue, right? That's a real life thing. You really want to be able to help people, but then how do you balance that out? And there are support groups out there for caregivers, and I never realized how much stress people are under when you're in those types of roles. I just had no idea until I got into it.
Imagine. Listen, I was telling my boss today, because I'm under pressure at work, right? And she sent me a message about some other shit that I didn't even open the message all the way, because just her title and what it was about, I knew my mental state for today, I couldn't handle it. So I sent her a message back before I didn't open no attachments. I said, let me tell you this. Today, I'm mentally not able to handle anything negative. So, before I open this attachment, my question to you is it something that I need to deal with today that cannot wait, right? Or that I need to do something with before I open it? Because mentally, my mental health today is shaky, and I'm having a hard time. So I'm dealing with something else that is really important with the job right now that I need to really focus on for the next 2 days. So do I need to add this on, or can it wait? And she said, it can wait. It's just an FYI. I said, okay, then I'm not opening this attachment, but I will open it as soon as, if I get through what I'm going through right now and I feel some relief, I'll go ahead and open it. And I'll try to open it tomorrow. She said, okay, sounds good. Because I knew, like, bitch, if you don't want me to sign off for the rest of the day, give me a second.
I actually love that approach, though.
Shit. Don't send me shit negative today, goddamn. That's really what I was saying. Shit. Today ain't the day, bitch.
Wow. That is actually a very good approach. I love the way you frame that, and the way you kind of articulated what your needs were and where you were at in that process, right? And then even your willingness to, I'm not unwilling to have the conversation, right? But is this one of those things where we have to do it right this minute, or can we
put it on the back burner? Yeah, let's
can we circle back to this? And so let me ask you this, though. This is a good point. Is I think a lot of principles that we use are applicable across the board.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, have you ever done that in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work in a relationship?
Or
how has that worked for you?
Okay, so the circling back thing is, there's a couple of ways you could do it, in my opinion, depending on the person you're dealing with. You have to keep that in mind. You have to know your audience. I'm going to say that again. You can't have the same solution for everybody. You just have to know what your ultimate goal is. So if you know your goal is, I can't handle this right now, and I don't want to talk about this right now. That's the goal. Now, who's the audience? Is it my boss, my job, type shit? Is it my mate? Is it my child? Is it my parent? And once you figure out your target audience, who you're speaking to, you need to know their personality. By now, you should know if there's, who you're dealing with. If it's a stranger or some business shit, you don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I'm just going to say whatever I want because I don't give a fuck about you. But those scenarios I gave are people we care about, right? So my son has a different personality than my husband. My husband has a different personality. My job is one thing, and my family may be, or let's just I'll just say you as family, just as an example, may be different. So to go back to the question, I know that if it's you, I can say just that. Not now, nigga. Not now, nigga. Now I can tell you that. You be like, okay, no problem. I'll talk to you in 24 hours. Okay, good. Okay, now you're easy. Okay, and it's my son. He's easy too. He has a laid-back personality. Not now, Josh. I'll talk to you later. Unless you're dying or there's an airplane coming to pick you up and transport you to another hospital, it's going to have to wait. He'll be like, okay, easy. My husband, on the other hand, my mate, it depends on what type of mood he's in, where he's at, what's going on, what kind of day he had. There's some days where I'm being approached with something and I know I can't deal with it and I just ignore. I don't converse because I know it'll go left. So I'm just quiet because I know that being quiet is the best scenario. And there are other times when I could say, like right now, he knows I'm under a lot of pressure at work, right? So he's purposely like not trying to agitate, right? But there are times where I'm very much needed for certain things. So he still has to kind of be like, right? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, not now, nigga. I'm at my desk like, don't have me, but I'll be like, okay, let me give him 10 minutes. Something like that. You just have to know who you're dealing with. But I also know there's certain moods he's in where I don't poke. I can't say, well, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Like that, why did you put that there? Or why did you say that? There's times I can say that and he's receptive to it. He'd be like, you're right. Okay, I got you. And there's other times when he's like, he's not going to be receptive to that. I know my audience. And I move accordingly. I don't have shit to prove to nobody. Nobody's bullying me. Nobody's doing. I'm making shit work for me. I control my environment. Where I get fucked up is when I can't control my environment. Where no matter what I do, no matter how I think and I think it's gonna work, it's not working. Then I'm like, then I get frustrated, and I'm like, well, okay, what am I gonna do? Because I'm always thinking of a plan. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm in my head all the time. And I know that sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but that would be my bottom line. Know what your goal is and know your audience and act accordingly, even if you have to bow the fuck down. Ooh. If that's what you need to do in that moment to have mental health comfort, for lack of a better word, then fucking do it. It's just a moment. I don't have shit to prove to nobody. If I have to say, okay, you're right, honey. Okay, my boss, you're right. I should have sent it a day earlier. You're right. Okay, where's the timestamp? You're right. I didn't have. Like, even though I'm like, bitch, please. I ain't never sent it a day early. That's what I want to say, but that's not gonna be productive. So I'm gonna bow down and just fuck it. Period.
Oh, I had an email today on that same shit. And you know how when you get to writing the email and you type it out and it's like, hold on. Let me not see it.
Right. Wait.
And then you write out another one. It's like, hold on, not this
I know.
one.
I do that shit, and you delete it. You're like, okay. I do that shit all the time with instant message at work. I'll be like, and you know they can see you typing. It says ... on instant message.
Man.
You're like,
oh man,
damn
man. I've had to deal with that one so many times.
Hi,
but
Drea.
Hey, what's good, Drea? But yeah, to Kendra's point, and then we're gonna take a brief little break.
We got 1 more hour, y'all.
It's just like, listen, cut your losses, let her go, and just let her go. And you know what? I think that's
gotta go.
I definitely agree. I think I'm gonna have a conversation though. I'm gonna have a conversation, and I'm gonna make some things clear from my part, because here's the thing. I think with everything, right, there's a relationship we deal with, right? And there's sometimes I think I can cut things off pretty easily. I'm a Capricorn. It's not hard for me to cut shit off. It's not hard for me to cut people off. What's really challenging for me is to deal with shit that I don't want to deal with, right? Especially if I feel like it's less than quote unquote ideal for me. So, because I'm a very down to earth type of person. So normally this would not be an issue, but I am challenging myself here. I'm challenging myself to communicate.
To not just cut her off.
Yeah. Oh, because my shut off game or my cutoff game, it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. And I know that it's strong, as evidenced by shit that I've had to do, in my story. But what I realized though is when it comes to you challenging yourself to grow, right? I'm a pretty good communicator, but I can still be better though. Because I can still,
No, I said,
okay. I can still communicate what my needs are, and then my desire to collaboratively work with you in this process, rather than, hey, this is what I expect. It is what it is. It's going to be this way or that way.
Yeah, you're not a dictatorship. You're not with it.
I'm not that. And I don't want to be that. And even though I do feel like this has been something that's, it's just petty to me. It's small. It's so small, and it's just poor character. And it just like,
you don't really understand.
Me up. Yeah, it does. It really does. It bothers me. But so to Kendra's point,
hi, True.
We're on the verge of that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to challenge myself to communicate. I'm going to challenge myself to communicate something that's uncomfortable. And the uncomfortable part is the fact that I am indicating to you that I give a fuck. That's the uncomfortable part.
Talk to me. Hey, Susan.
Yeah. So let's take a little brief break.
Okay. So look, I'm going to play that before our break. Hey, you guys, when we come back, I want to talk about the Cam Newton thing. Jason sent me the text and then didn't want me to talk about it.
No, I didn't.
Okay, but I want to, because I started watching it. I didn't even know Cam Newton had a podcast on Friday night. But he's got this doctor lady from Basketball Wives. I didn't know who the bitch was, but she's on Basketball Wives. But anyway, I want to talk about this viral thing that's been going on with this clip. And we're going to talk about it. But look, we're going to play that song. Jason, let's play Jazz Caris, I guess, Karis. I'm going to do Petty Lover, which is the Pretty Dreamer one you said. It's called Petty Lover. I'm going to play that song, you guys, and we got barbecue. I'm going to go heat up a rib. We'll be right back. I'm just saying, so I could get through the next portion. Bye, y'all. We'll be right back. It's not bye. Bye-bye.
Yes, I'm a petty lover today, 'cause I'm still mad about yesterday. No no stupid questions asking me why. There's no kiss for you when I say goodbye. Let that shit go, let that shit go. You keep telling me to let that shit go, let that shit go. Say you don't know I'm so cold. Hey, where did I go like you don't know? I'm not an easy lover, but I'll make time for others. No, I don't take things lightly. I'm not your average. You keep calling me sober, like there's something to say. But now the weekend is over. It's just another day. Yeah. Yes, I'm a bitchy lover today. So don't speak to me when I feel this way. Don't text me and expect a reply, 'cause we both know that she's still on your mind. I need to let that shit go, let that shit go. Keep telling me to let that shit go, let that shit go. Say you don't know I'm so cold. Hey, where did I go like you don't know? I'm not an easy lover, but I'll make time for others. No, I don't take things lightly. I'm not your average. You keep calling me sober, like there's something to say. But now the weekend is over. It's just another day. I'm not an easy lover, but I'll make time for others. No, I don't take things lightly. I'm not your average. You keep calling me sober, like there's something to say. But now the weekend is over. It's just another day. Yeah.
Y'all, we're coming right back. Stay tuned. Let's vibe out for a minute.
Your hand is my hand. Your heart is my heart. Your eyes see what I see.
Hi, Lucy.
So do you promise not to leave me lonely? You've been around, you've been around. But I can only hope it's me you found.
Cam Newton. Let's talk about it.
It's like the sun is rising.
We'll finish this song.
I'm already flying. It's like the ocean.
It's called Sunrise by Jazz Carice.
It's like a fire burning deep inside me. I can feel it churning. So would you hold my love? So would you hold my love?
Baby, if your world is my world, and you've seen the way the blues kiss the moon and sea, yeah, the colors never fade, no matter how the waves try to shake them. So baby, believe I'll never leave you lonely. Yeah, no. I've been around. Yeah. But baby, don't you know it's only you that I found? Yeah.
It's like the sun is rising over the heavens. I'm already flying. It's like the ocean's blooming every moment. I can feel it moving. It's like a fire burning deep inside me. I can feel it churning. So would you hold my love? So would you hold my love?
Wait, is that it? Yep, that was it. Damn, that just ended abruptly, didn't it? I was like, are we on verse number 2 or is it over? Okay. So, Jason, did you eat dinner?
I did. I ate earlier though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but sure did. I had to. I've been doing this low key intermittent fasting piece again. Trying to get back on that. So just trying to eat, more like early part of the day, like anywhere from 3 to 5, 6, right? I'm trying to eat within that window and then be done for the rest of the night or snack on some grapes or some shit like that. So I'm just working on some ideas.
Okay,
appreciate it, Kents. I thought I was a little ashy tonight. I don't know, man.
You are. They're just being nice.
First of all,
anyway, because listen, you see this shoulder right here. Don't pay attention to the hyperpigmentation. But look right here. Look right here.
Hold on, hyperpigment. Is that Michael Jackson? You talking about that Michael Jackson?
Now his was real fucked up though. Mine is still.
Is that just because you don't get sun? Is that what it is? You don't leave.
Not only that.
You hide them shoulders.
Hyperpigmentation. Well, these shoulders are not for everybody to see.
Okay, that's
okay. They're just these are the pajamas. Okay, fuck y'all. Everybody look at the cans. He's glowing. Okay, your skin is flawless too. Here we go. Always it's the backup compliment for me.
Man.
It's the look, they probably sitting in bed, Jason talking about, you better say something, nigga.
You know how she gets.
Right. You better compliment her. Hurry up, nigga. You started the shit. Say something, nigga. Okay, look at this. Talking about Jason got better lighting. Better lighting. Wait. Let me turn my light on. Fuck that. Hold on. Come on, Jason got better.
Don't do it.
No. Then we gonna talk about Cam Newton.
No, just leave it alone.
No.
You're a mess. You are a mess.
Look who's in here. Tanya. Tanya had the baby. We haven't seen her for so long. Tanya, are you breastfeeding? Don't tell us about your breasts. Okay, come on. Let's talk about Cam Newton. Okay, Jason sent me. Liz, it's not funny. Okay, Jason sent me. Everybody compliment me. Hurry up. Go. Here we go. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna present another screen. All right, Jason, just tell them why you sent this to me first so we can get started. What was it about it that you sent? What was it about it?
I think Liz's point. I think she's right on point with this.
You guys better get it under control over here.
Yeah, I think Liz is on. She's definitely on topic. She is on point with this one. But no. So this one, I just thought it was interesting because as a male, I can understand what he was saying. As a therapist, I can understand what she was saying.
Oh, okay. This is going to be good.
What I find interesting in the midst of that, and even in the platform of which this was done, how things were done, and then even so much to say like what his reactions were, because I've heard like some mixed views on his reaction to it, which is irrelevant. The point of the matter is that when you open yourself up for conversation about your personal life details, this is what you deal with. This is why I don't typically talk about people's real life shit if I'm on a public panel, unless this is something you've agreed to, because we might go somewhere that you weren't expecting us to go. Right. And you can see that in what he says, and then how her reaction was. And I was loving it. But I think there's a lot of fruit in that whole podcast about this particular issue. And there's several other things that were talked about, but I just really, this one caught me my attention.
Okay, let's do it. Raymond said, I finally caught a live. Hi, Raymond.
Raymond Johnson.
I don't know. Is it somebody you know?
He said, I got an uncle and a cousin named Raymond Johnson.
Okay, it's one of your people because you could.
It might be, but they don't know I'm online. And my uncle's not even here anymore. He passed away, so it can't be him.
Why would you bring him up if he passed away? Okay,
I just said I have an uncle and a.
What's good, though?
That is my cousin.
Now it's not the uncle that passed away; it's the cousin.
I don't know.
Hi, cousin.
I don't know who it is, but nevertheless, what's good with
it? Welcome in. How you not gonna? Oh, he's sorry. I'm your cousin too, and I have a glow. Okay, let's play. Ooh. Stop playing. I have a glow. Everybody said I had a glow earlier. Okay, let's talk about it. Here we go, y'all. Listen, because I want you guys to talk about it. Okay, everybody get serious. Let's go.
And I think that I'm not high function.
What situation?
See, my situation. That's a very vague question, and this for you.
What situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from.
No, she's not.
Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yeah, some more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right?
Clearly.
I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
by how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God.
She what?
She should have checked him right there when he made that comment.
What?
That comment, it was a very subtle. But when he said, no, baby.
Oh, the baby.
She should have checked him right there. Yeah. Because what that does is it's a power shift. Mm-hmm. And what's trying to happen is the individual sometimes when they feel uncomfortable, they're going to try to minimize your position, even though all I'm doing is asking a question, right? She didn't say anything in particular, but you're feeling threatened already. Mm-hmm. So no, what he's saying is bringing you here.
Right.
While he's here.
And I've done that before with, like, honestly.
You do that shit all the time, as a matter of fact.
Well, no, like,
you do it all the time.
Like,
when we play Fortnite, you stay minimizing niggas. My contributions never matter. I'm fucking
look. No, but honestly, like, I feel like I don't know if it's as a woman that you bring that up, and this is a subtle thing that happened. Other than his leggings, these leg warmers, I just. Jason, I'm bothered by them, but I know it's not important. But what's going on? Is it a sleepover? Like, what's happening here? Okay, let's keep going.
People say a lot, but yeah, okay, she should have said something. She should have checked that. Right. I am Dr. So-and-so.
Right. Or I would, you know what I would tell somebody when they do that to me, especially if it's really it's just if men do it. They be like, "What's up, babe?" Or like, whatever they saying. They're not really hitting on me or nothing, but it's just how they talk to women. Like, they have this way, and I'll be like, I'll stop them. Like, no, it's Bobby, or it's whatever,
Oh,
because I don't like it. Because I'm not her. So don't treat me like her, because I don't want to have to show you I'm different. I'd rather you just know from jump and just believe it.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and play. We went off track. Okay, here we go, guys. Where are we at so far, Dynamicist? Basically, he's saying, she said don't deflect. She said don't deflect because he was trying to deflect earlier. So this is the second time he's deflecting, really. Okay, here we go.
Your wife.
I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it. I didn't say it. I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
Right here.
Drinking and driving is a decision that could change your whole world. You can
we're not listening to this shit right now. Get to the point.
This is his little advertisement.
Yeah, drunk driving is not good. Okay, let's go ahead.
He said my level of what?
He said his level of fear of divorce doesn't outweigh his desire to be married. So he's living a fear-based experience, right? Because I'm living through the prism that I am so deathly afraid of divorce that I'm going to live everywhere else other than anywhere that's going to remotely take me there, right? There's a problem with that, though. Whenever we're living fear-based experiences, this is one thing I now, and if you guys don't hear shit else I say tonight or any other night, fear is the absolute worst motivator that you can use or allow to be used, as evidenced by historically. Fear was used when it came to how people control people with scripture. Fear was used with how sometimes with parents, we use fear, not respect or reverence. We use fear to control our society. What do they do when look at the politics shit? What are we saying? Oh, Biden, he gonna let all these motherfuckers through the border and they coming in. Do y'all realize that when they made marijuana illegal back in the day originally, do you know what they used? They used the narrative that weed was going to make black men rape white women and Mexican men commit crimes. That was the platform that they used to vote fear in order for people to say that it was illegal to vote to make it illegal. But the problem with that was the whole time hemp had been being used in tinctures and all kinds of shit, clothing, all kinds of shit. It was widely known, right? But what did they do? They used it, they weaponized it. So fear can become weaponized. So if we live our lives through a fear-based prism, right? Your idea, your scope, your vision is solely fear-based. Fear is such a poor motivator that is going to lead you to create the exact thing you are most afraid of. And I'm telling you, it is the craziest shit in the world. But this is the part where I say this is that God, the universe, the whole 9 yards is not biased. What you vibrate with, that's what you attract. So if you're living a fear-based experience, you're putting that out there. That's the primary. You're attracting the same exact thing that you're saying I don't want, because you're putting more emphasis on what you don't want than what you do want.
Right. Okay.
Paradigm shift.
Right.
Rock with it.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior to say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can song.
Yeah, almost. That's completely
He
unfair
said,
and
just
that's
tell me,
selfish.
wait. He said, just tell me when I could talk. She said, almost. Come on, get it.
So, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box.
Come on.
It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men would what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here, at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will. You'll get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home.
Ooh, that was shade. You get whatever you want. Talk to me.
Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish.
Look at him. Look at his face. Wait, okay. I didn't get past that. I don't know his response, y'all. Y'all gonna have to go figure that part out. I don't know his response to that. I didn't look.
Right. So here's what was interesting. So in watching this and I'm watching this conversation unfold from three positions, right? From his position, and being the person that has an idea that my way of approach addresses this particular answer. I am not, quote unquote, creating broken families because I have the resources to take care of you, and you. And all of y'all have your needs, quote unquote, met. Her standpoint,
right,
as the therapist in the scenario, seeing it from trying to see it from an objective standpoint about where you're at, but then also knowing like, okay, so here's what we know that we know, right? And I understand your standpoint, but there's something else. There's another layer to this. And then the objective observer, right? The one who just sits in the sand, watching it all unfold. And what I find fascinating about that was, I'm going to deal with Cam's position first. If he could redo it, he would not have led with that. Absolutely not. Because she ate his ass up.
Yeah.
And there's no.
He wasn't joking. He was joking. Like he wanted.
No. He wasn't joking.
Well,
but it was a level of discomfort.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a level of discomfort because he assumed, like, because he made this statement though, and this is why I'm listening to this statement he made. He says in the midst of a conversation, he says, like you said, I'm just taking my time. So there was previously a point she made about being intentional about taking your time and being, open to possibilities, right? So then he takes that information. He says, well, see, this is what I'm doing. I'm just doing what you said. So in essence, because I'm doing what you said, you should have no rebuttal, right? But there is a rebuttal. And I love the way she approached that. I love the way she addressed it and dealt with it. The only thing I would say was, the two things I would say is she should have challenged him about that notion about baby. She should have just said something about that.
She should have her power.
As a therapist, I'm already knowing what's happening here. I'm knowing exactly what's taking place. But she picked and chose her battles. I am on a national television. The last thing I want to do is have some weird ass interaction and then not have him receive the message. Right. That's one point. But also you got to remember though, is that there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this who are not familiar with therapy. Right. And so you also want to model what should happen or what's ideal in a type of setting like that or a scenario. I would say she should have definitely said something to him about that piece. But she gave him the business though. She gave him business in the respect that she illuminated the flaws in his theory. The flaws in your theory is that you are better than what we grew up criticizing. And because you're better than what was criticized when you were growing up, you think, oh, I've arrived. So take any of us, right? It was criticized not to be in the streets, running around, doing this, that, and the third. Criticized that. That was criticized by the women in my family, the women that reared me. It was criticized, and the people that my cohorts in school, shit like that, right?
Hey, y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the reality is that if I set the standard based on the opposite of what was criticized, I'm still not living up to the possibilities or living up to the uniqueness of how I'm designed and the greatness they're in, because all people saw was what they saw. So they communicated about that. I think with him, that's what he did. He based his thought process on, I grew up seeing men not taking care of their family. They don't send money. They don't do this, just that, and the third. But I'm different because I am taking care of them. I'm giving them money. They need this. I respond to the need. They call me. I answer the phone. But that's not being a fucking father, though. And so the biggest issue that I think that wasn't addressed in this whole conversation is where this shit comes from in you. This is something I think as a male that we could impart in that one, because I think there's a biological and a historical standpoint that comes from.
Well, I mean, okay. So when you say like there's fathers who aren't physically there and mothers, but we're just going to stick with fathers, okay? There's a lot of broken homes. And just because you're not physically there with your child, and if you're providing financially, that's a big piece. So I don't want to.
Is it a big piece?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I don't
For
think
somebody that never got a dime, one dime in my child's entire life from the person who begged me to keep him, it is a big piece because I had to do it by myself. Even if you weren't around, if you were providing his health insurance, his dental, his vision, his every year I could use your money to get his shit. We're not gonna sit up here and act like that.
No. Let me explain where I'm coming from. But go ahead.
But to Cam's point is, we don't know that his thing was just financial. Nobody said that he doesn't pick up his kids. He doesn't see his kids. You don't have to be under the same roof with your children to be a father. That's not a requirement. What I want to say is that with Cam, the issue I have with him is that you don't see the value in creating on purpose or trying to create on purpose a home where you are in the house. You just talk about having babies. That's where he's fucking up. If it just happens, that's one thing, because your marriage failed or whatever. But you acting like it's a game, like Pokemon.
Well, you know what? It's a power dynamic, right?
Okay.
Because, and again, I'm going to use there's several individuals we can highlight, right? We can highlight Wilt Chamberlain, who had hella kids all over the country. What's good, Cheapo? We can highlight Nick Cannon. Hella, he's got a grip of kids,
right?
And there's quite a few other people that have a large amount of kids, right? But in celebrity wise, right? But the problem with all of those is that what enables you to be able to do this is your ability to have a financial basis to make you feel like you're doing something different than the niggas that have a lot of kids with a bunch of baby mamas all over the neighborhood, right? And you feel like you're better than them because I'm able to provide money for them. This is coming from a father, though, who has several kids. Well, God damn.
You only have two.
I've got multiple children,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even though I pay child support, that shit is not enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I'm with my son, and I'm using him as an example because I was there all the time for my daughter, right? Up until she was in her late teens when I came out to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But like 17 going on 18, something like that. But with her, those middle of the night, Daddy, my stomach hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's go downstairs and I'm gonna get you some mustard. Or let's come on here, take this. Daddy, I'm not feeling good. Here, lay down and let me get you a towel.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a fucking father. It's not sending the money. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't help. I pay child support. But would I trade in child support to have that little motherfucker with me every day? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I trade that shit in 2 seconds. I don't give a fuck about the money. I can make money. I can make enough money to take care of you and provide for your core essential needs. Daddy, show me who I am. That's how you be a father.
Mm-hmm.
So the notion that I can just send money and fuck these bitches and then, and hey, my kids got the newest Jordans and they got this, they got that. I don't give a fuck about that. That's not being a father. And so I'm no disrespect to the story of Josh's upbringing, and I know the challenges of being a single mother. How do I know that? I'm seeing it with mine, with my kids' mother. I see what she deals with. My son got a cold right now, and I'm sitting there thinking like, God damn, like I know now you got to make adjustments to your everyday routine because he got to stay home from school. Right? He can't go to school like that. And we need those windows. Me, on the other hand, where the fuck am I across the country? I understand any shit she might even think about trying to give me. And she don't give me no shit right now. But it would be well understood because I know it's more than just doing the money. So when I take some time and I say, fuck it, I'm going to work. I'm going to take some penitentiary chances out here with my...
Not penitentiary.
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase that because when I say penitentiary chance, I'm just saying it's high stakes shit by me trying to be out of state working when I'm not supposed to be out of state working. Right. Because technically you're supposed to be here and they can call you to the carpet on that shit. So that's what I mean by that. But the point of what I'm saying is I make that sacrifice because I want to be there. So when my son wakes up in the middle of the night and he says, Daddy, I had a bad dream, I can sit there and I can pray with you. I can talk to you, or we can talk about your dream, or I can put you back in the bed and then lay there next to you so that you feel comforted. That's being a father. So that's the standpoint I'm coming from. Fuck the money. That's why I said that. And again, I'm not saying it's not important if you're, because I do my due diligence, but it's bigger than that.
Right. So this is my thing. When it comes to Cam Newton, being a parent is a lot of things.
Yes.
Is levels to it. You have a father who's in the home who doesn't work.
Problem.
Doesn't work, but he's there.
That's a problem.
When the baby has a cold, he's there. Just like you said, he's there to comfort the baby. He's there to lay down next to him. My point is that it's everything combined, and it's not just father, it's parenthood that makes you a parent. You are provide a safe environment. You're a provider for your child. You're there emotionally, mentally, financially, the best that you can. Does it mean you're rich and you can give them everything they want? No. Does it mean you're always going to be there at every teacher conference? No, because you have to work. But it's just the whole picture, right? My thing with Cam Newton is, and again, I don't want to take things out of context because I didn't watch the entire interview. I don't follow him. I know that Truth says she doesn't like his personality. He has a God complex and all that. So she knows more about him than I do. I don't know anything about the nigga other than he dresses weird and he play football. I didn't know nothing else until you sent me this clip. Okay. So what in this one clip, the part that fucks me up is, like you said, the whole baby comment, and like she said with the little dig with, well, you could get whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to financial security, a person who's not mature, right, it doesn't sit well. So what I mean, you know what I mean by that is, you have all this money, but you really don't know how to maneuver through life with it and still be a healthy individual. You can't make good choices. It's like a nigga who never had nothing, then you got something, and then you just think you ruling the world. It's like, stop. Like, that doesn't give you the opportunity, the privilege to just be like, oh, send me a bunch of kids. My question is, why do you want all these kids? Like,
Well,
what is it? Why do you want all these kids and you don't care that they're by multiple women? Why don't you care about that?
I can speak to that point.
Okay.
I want 10 kids.
Right.
Like, I would love 10 little me and they mamas running around, right?
Uh-huh.
Love that. I've always said that but the one stipulation that I've always had about that was, I have to have the resources and the time to actually father them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want 10 kids and they scattered all over the globe. I don't want 10 kids and they just, you know, and again, there's nothing wrong with hand-me-downs. There's nothing wrong with that shit, but I don't want to have to do that. Because what am I having all these kids for if I can't afford to take care of them? Period. That's what my thought is, right?
Right.
So having the financial ability to take care of them, one aspect,
Mm-hmm.
having the emotional flexibility and the mental acuity to be able to tend to them
Mm-hmm.
and to connect with them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those because that's important. I feel like when it comes to raising children
Right.
and when it comes to being a part of a child's life. So do I give passes to niggas who just pay child support? Well, I'm one of those niggas too on one aspect because I'm not living in the same state with my kids. I don't give myself a pass for that. So when my ex-wife, she says, hey, I need to go out of town. Can you be in town for this time period or whatever? I don't give two fucks. I'm going to try to make that happen
Mm-hmm.
because it's not just about giving you the break. I do value that though, because if you stress the fuck out, you're going to stress my babies out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can relieve some stress off of you in any way possible,
Mm-hmm.
then I know that's making the road sweet for my children, period. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try my best to get out there. You tell me, oh, his birthday's X, Y, and Z time, bet it up. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I can. And like we were talking about earlier with the caregiver thing, is I'm waiting to the last minute because I gotta make sure I got somebody to take care of my household so that then I can go take care of my babies, right? And take care of them and make sure I'm there for them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be physically present, but mentally gone.
Right.
Or mentally absent.
Yeah, you need to make so you're not worrying about what's going on over here. Like, you need
Right.
everything to be in place. Yeah.
No, yeah,
Especially
because
since you don't get to see them as often.
every day.
You get to see them more than maybe some men can who are not in the same state. But you can't see them every day, which
Yeah.
is ideal.
Yeah,
So the
and
time you do
talking to
spend
him
needs to matter.
when I'm out there, when I was out there, and my son, he started school and he's going to kindergarten now, and he goes to school. It's a whole new group of kids and shit. And I'm going up to the school and I'm standing there and I'm just watching them through the door. And I'm just looking. He don't know I'm still there. And then I come back to pick him up, and then I'm sitting there at the door, and it's like, okay, I'll go get him. No, don't get him. Let me just look at him. And I'm watching him interact. I'm seeing how he playing with, what's he doing, who he playing with, how is he playing, right? And I'm paying attention to all that shit because it's communicating to me who he is, right? In his natural state, who is he? So those mornings we get up, I'm making him breakfast, and then boom, we dip off to school, and we're having our early morning conversations. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between just being physically present and then being mentally present.
Right.
There's a difference. And that's why, so I don't give, it ain't the same. It's not the same just because the niggas in the house who don't work and he don't bring in the finances. Because here's the problem with that financial piece. And we put a lot of emphasis on this, and I get it, right? We live in a world where finances make shit happen. The only problem with that is that the expectation for people for your earning capacity. Do you know what the average salary is in New Mexico or any state for that matter? You know what the average salary is?
I'm gonna say like 30 something.
Check this out.
In the 30s somewhere, probably.
This is your state, right? Hold on, let me pull this up because this shit is wild.
Yeah.
It's a little bit greater than that. The average salary in New Mexico is $56,000 a year. What the fuck are you?
What's the average? What's the average in California? So 56,000 here is the average annual income, and then let's see what it is for California because the cost of living is more there. You can use state, New York, whatever. I'm just curious.
Oh my motherfucking God!
What is it? What's average? 70? 80?
As of August 2024. The average salary in California ranges from 31,000 to 38.
Why?
The 25th percentile make 45. The 75th percentile 78, and the 90th percentile is 95,000 a year. And what the 90th percentile is, when you think about the percentile piece, this is what it means from like on this type of shit. Out of 100%, these people are the smallest. The 90th percentile is the smallest fucking percentage.
Okay.
Right? The 20th percentile means that there's a larger amount of people that fit into that category. So it's kind of inverse, right? If you think about it. So you would think 90 will be high. Well, 90 is actually low because it means it's a smaller percentage. That's like if you score in the 90th percentile in your grades, that means you're at the top, but you're the smallest percentage of people that's up there. So that's what that means.
Right.
So your average salaries are absolutely fucking nuts. And what the fuck can you do?
And they expect you to pay a grit. That's the thing. This is not just about men. This is men and women. We're talking about the parent that is not in the home when you have a child support order. It's unrealistic. I don't know. I haven't had to go through that. So I can't, but I just know that everybody feels like it's unfair, the amount that gets billed to them for child support.
Because it takes up.
Because it's all about money when you go to the courts. I mean, but I will say if you have a child on your insurance, it does lower significantly what you would pay for for the monthly. But a lot of niggas don't have insurance. So they just working. They either have a job that doesn't offer insurance or they're right below full time. You know what I'm saying? You know how jobs do you.
Yeah.
3 hours under full time, so you can't get health insurance.
And you know what? And you're bringing up a point that a lot of people don't talk about because a lot of people assume, well, if you're not working full time, it's just because you're not. Like, I'll give y'all a good case in point. I graduated from a university with a master's degree, and I was working for the state. Do you know with a master's degree what my salary was?
With a master's degree.
With a master's degree.
What? I mean, this is after graduation with a degree, no experience.
20 around. I'm gonna give you a date around 2020, 2018, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Was that 6 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago. What do you think my salary was with a master's degree working at the state as a counselor?
28,000. Just because I heard you say 20. I wouldn't have guessed that.
No, I said 2020. I was just
Oh, that was the year. Okay, how much was it?
2020.
What was it? How much was it?
My salary started at 34.
Okay.
Up to 36 with a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck am I going to do with that kind of money?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, what did that also do? I graduated from a program doing something that I love to do and married a woman who was in sales, who had a master's of her own, but could not understand how I could be okay making $30,000 a year. Now, was I okay with that? No. But was that the lane that I was in? Yes, that was the lane I was in. I didn't go into counseling to make a lot of money. It was to affect a lot of change.
Right.
Right. Now, my thing is, when it comes to me, was I live according to my means, and rather than trying to skyball or worry about what the fuck other people are doing, I'm gonna figure out what I can do with mine. But is it exhausting to deal with? Yes. Now, at today, obviously, it's much more than what it was. But the point of the matter is still is a fucked up scenario, and that's with a master's degree. So now you take other people who are just coming out of high school, or all you have is a high school diploma, right? Now, I'm not saying that people can't make 70, 80 grand, 90 grand, or 150, right, with no education. That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Those jobs are out there, but they're few and far in between, right? They're not the average job that you're going to be able to find. A lot of those jobs are kind of like it's who you know type shit, right? Because I even heard
because back in the day, at the end of the day, I don't have a college degree, right? But and I don't know. It's different today than it was back in the day. Because back in the day, even before my time, when I was, my grandparents' time and all that, it was about experience. So what got you the money was how many years you've been there. And your experience got you the money.
And that's not the case.
It's not like now. It's like, I've been doing the same type of work for 30 years, right? But because I don't have a degree, if I jump from company to company, when I start, I'm going to start on the lower end. They don't give a fuck about I have 30 years in this field. Damn. I'm going to start at the lower end, but somebody could come in with the paperwork and make what I'm making. That's the reality. Now, it could, there's variables to it and all of that. But for somebody like me that's not on paper, it is in my benefit to stay somewhere and sit the fuck there. All that happening around nowadays, they don't give, because back in the day, you could throw a resume out there and be like, oh yeah, I've been doing this shit for 30 years. And the boss would want you more than they would want this nigga right out of school, because they want the experience. It's not that anymore. So, I mean, we jumping into a whole nother topic, but that's the reality.
That is a reality. And this is the thing why I say, like, putting the emphasis on your ability to provide financially, like as the primary, I think that's just not healthy. Mm-hmm. Because if we're looking at the reality that people are dealing with, I saw a story recently. Some people, it was a lady, and she went to a grocery store. And so there's a new laws out where you can't stop people from stealing anymore, right? You got to just call the police. Because if you physically try to stop somebody and they get injured, they can sue you. They can sue the company that you work for, right? That's on the books. So now I'm watching this video, and this lady got a basket full of meats, all kinds of shit out the grocery store. And they're saying, "Oh, stop, turn it back in. You know, you didn't pay for this, blah, 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 blah." She just throwing shit in the car, Boom, 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 boom. And, and I was thinking about that, and I said, what's really fucked up about this is that the socioeconomic piece is never going to even be addressed. As to the reality is why did she feel she had to do that? And even going back to my scenario earlier about the thievery piece, I know that it's possible you just don't even make enough money. That's why why I want to have the conversation. Because I know that from a socioeconomic standpoint, salaries aren't what they are made out to seem. And you would think, okay, well, that's what you're getting paid. You should be okay with it. I don't believe in that. Because half of this shit, it's just really fucked up for a lot of people. It's really fucked up. And the majority of people are really struggling day to fucking day. So how can you have that same expectation for people who are struggling to make fucking ends meet? And then you multiply that when you are a single parent and you're trying to take care of children. It's almost like you're penalized.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot to it. I've never been in a situation where it's hard. Okay. Empathy is when you've been through it, right? And you can empathize. Is that right? Sympathy
No,
is when you've
empathy is
never
just when
been
you
through it.
no empathy is when you can see yourself in another person's shoes.
And what's sympathy?
Sympathy is you feel sorry for them. That's not seeing. I don't see you, and I don't see myself in that position. But I'm just sorry that you have to deal with that.
I'm sorry you have to deal with that. So I'm trying to pick the right word. I've never felt that I've never had to steal or anything like that to take care of my child. It never crossed my mind, right? So I don't know if I can't empathize or I understand. I don't know what word to use, but I understand how there are scenarios where I have a baby at home, newborn, and I can't breastfeed and they need breast milk. They need milk, whatever they call it, formula. So, and I have to steal it because I don't know any other way to get it.
You had a village.
Right, but I know that everybody doesn't have this scenario. The thing about it is now we move to and there's always going to be changes that need to be made on a
individual level.
On a not even individual. I'm thinking more of like not political, but
Societal.
Yeah, societal level with the laws and the way things are run. It's never gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? Like the poor always get fucked. It's always been that way. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people begging for change and trying to just make it work. If I had to steal, Bobby, would you steal if you're hungry? And I guess you would. Like anybody when they're desperate, they'll do a whole bunch of shit you don't think you would do. Some bitches selling pussy to feed their baby. Well, but they're taking the money they're selling their pussy with, and they're going to the store and getting the baby. Whereas you I don't want to sell my pussy. I'm just gonna go try to steal. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. However you choose to figure it out, but your baby got to eat type shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there's a consequence for every choice you make. If you walking out the store with a basket full of meat and you get caught, I don't feel sorry for you. Whatever you call it, I don't have any empathy for that. Like I mean, if that's what you're doing it for, I mean, I guess I do feel bad that you have to do that, but there's a consequence for it. All I'm saying is I don't like it because I love these. You know what kind of shows I like to watch, Jason. What I don't like is how people are mistreated or treated like less than when they get caught stealing. there are people that act a fool when they get caught stealing and shit like that, right? And they act a fool. But there's people that really, you know, it's a fucked up situation when you really need something and you get caught stealing because you just really didn't have it. I'm on my period. I'm homeless. I needed tampons. I didn't know where to get them from. I'm bleeding. That's some shit. Like,
those are real scenarios,
right? And that's the kind of shit where I'm like, don't pin this bitch down to the ground over tampons, and you're like, get the fuck down, bitch. We don't give a fuck about you. Like, they be doing the most. Like, that's the kind of shit I'd be like, just give her the ticket, and let's just.
Well, and you got to remember too. You know what the average salary is for cops?
It's little. It's like teachers.
Insignificant. Right. So you got to remember, these are people who are given a badge,
and
a level of power and authority that ruins people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we see scenarios where cops will then harass an FBI agent who's black. Right? I see those all the time. Right? Cops harassing black FBI agents who have or CIA agents who have no idea, nigga, I outrank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for all intents and purposes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's always the follow-up to those stories. Those people got reprimanded, blah, 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 because they went well above and beyond.
Too much. Yeah.
Right? So you see that. But you got to remember, though, these people are regular people who went and took a test.
Mm-hmm.
Not a hard test.
Right.
So much so that if you score too high on those tests, they will not hire you.
Come on. Oh, you don't fit. Thank you. Have a good day. Like,
no,
what?
Straight up. Your boy, he talked about this, and I've heard this for years, but
Porch pipe.
He's a fighter dude, black dude. He played Spawn. But anyway, he was talking about this one day in the interview, because when he was younger, he wanted to be an officer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking to somebody about this who's within the organization, and they made a comment to him after that, and it was like, so how are your scores? And then he told him, he said, you scored too high. And then that's exactly what his case was. If you score too high, you're going to be considered a free thinker, which means that you're going to disrupt our fraternal organization.
Agenda. Yeah.
Right. So the people that we do see out there, here's what we know.
Mm-hmm.
1, you're not paid very well. 2, you're given a level of authority over people, power control, and it doesn't matter what their salaries are. Doesn't matter how great they are. It doesn't matter who they are, right? You're given a level of, I can tell you what the fuck to do at any given point because of this badge. And 3, we also know that they're not the most brightest. They're not the best of the best. They're not the cream of the crop.
Fuck brightest. These niggas be fat as hell. They can't even run. I be trying to figure out why you
has nothing to do. Your intelligence has nothing to do with
right. But what I'm talking about is qualifications for the job. Okay, I'm trying to figure out why these cops and police officers. I know you're talking about intelligence. But I'm talking about the capability of doing the job. Why don't they make sure these motherfuckers, after they get out of the academy, why don't they have a physical assessment? Because the reason some of these niggas just shoot you is because they can't chase you. Like, because they're out of shape. Why don't you make sure these niggas, you need to pay officers and teachers.
Oh.
You need to pay these civil servants a decent amount of money, and then you need to have and this is for any job, Jason. Right. These motherfuckers want to underpay you and then have these high ass expectations. And then have you do other people's jobs. It's not my job, but can you do it for me anyway type shit, but you're underpaying me and I have to take it because I got bills to pay. Do I have to take it? No, we all have options, but my option is I got a household of 3 kids and myself. And it's like, if I don't take it, where are we going, to a shelter? Because I refuse to fill out somebody else's paperwork. No, I'm going to fill it out. And I'm just going to be mad as hell and make a YouTube video. Like,
Yeah, it's you know what? If you were to do that, and my cousin said it's Michael Jai White. Yeah, that's exactly right. Michael Jai
Who's that?
White is the guy. Michael Jai White is the guy I was just talking about who wanted to be an officer before, but he didn't pass he scored, he was overqualified. He scored too high on those exams, and then they said, yeah, we can't take you. And so what that tells us is that it's not so much always about your performance.
Hi, Raymond, with your input. Come through.
And so you anyway, so what we'll see, and this is what I do know though, is that if you were to increase the salaries of these positions, what you could also do is increase the demand on the position.
True. Facts.
Right. So you can make the bar higher for people who to pass the psychological evaluations, right? So that because then what you're trying to do is find a better quality of people that will then serve in those roles that can actually administrate or minister justice or whatever creates. But right now we don't have that, right? So you have people who are making 30,000, 40,000 a year, riding around with expectations and putting their life on the line to a degree, right?
Come on.
Right? Putting their life on the line because you are a target in some cases.
Yep.
But then you're also indoctrinated to believe that everybody is an adversary, especially people that look like us. So when it comes down, and again, this is not everybody, and some of us, I have people who served in both military. I have people who served in the sheriff's department,
we can see it from all angles. I'm telling you guys. Like,
so again, I'm not knocking Orange County Sheriff's Department. I'm not knocking nothing. What I am saying is the facts are the facts, and so we got to deal with what the reality is. And the reality is that it's a fucked up scenario. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I truly believe that they playing one end against the next. I believe this shit's being chess. Matter of fact, if y'all want to know something, let me give y'all something. This gonna bless y'all life right here. I want y'all to look this shit up. I wish I could post this video in our the link.
Is it on YouTube? Or what is it on? Because YouTube I could post down here.
Hold on. Right here. Let me see exactly what this is. Instagram.
Oh, it's on IG.
Yeah, it's on IG. But it's called, there's a game. If you go to Instagram and look up the game Werewolf, right? Or let me go to Google. I'm gonna see if it populates on Google.
Yeah, see if there's a, because I can't share my screen with. Well, I could log into my Instagram.
So what?
We almost done, y'all. We gonna, after this we out.
Okay. So if you go to Google and you put in werewolf game, right? You're gonna see a bunch of shit populate.
Werewolf.
WERE wolf.
Okay.
You're gonna see a bunch of shit populate. Keep scrolling down, and you're gonna see something that's gonna it's short videos.
Werewolf gang. GANG or GAME?
GAME.
Oh, game. Okay. Werewolf game. Okay, I just Googled it. Okay, now what you do?
Hold on. Matter of fact, give me 1 second, because
a party game for devious people. Oh shit! What the fuck is that?
Hold on. But you gotta hear the narrative.
Okay.
About this shit, because this was some dope shit right here. And let me see how many this is, because I'm on YouTube and I put in werewolf game, right? Okay. And there's this guy, he's got a white shirt on with a collar, black jacket. Watch his video, and if you can watch the full video, it's pretty impactful. I see one here is at Trigger Pod, but anyway, he's talking about this game and how it was designed, and then what was the storyline associated with the messages behind it, right? And what they realized as a result of the creation of this
videos
game.
from 10 years ago. So this has been around a long time. Now you said there's one with a guy in a white t-shirt.
He's got a white collar shirt and a black jacket on.
A black jacket, huh?
Yeah.
He's not in the top of my feed.
No, he's not going to be in the top because there's actually.
What's the name of him? Down. Maybe I should just put his name in.
Hold on, let me see something. What is this guy's name? Let me see something.
His YouTube channel. Because I don't see no.
I really wish I could just send this shit to you because.
Well, there should be a share.
Okay, you know it is. Hold on.
I never heard of this game, Werewolf Game. Wait.
Let me send it to you right
now. How
now.
to play the Werewolf Party game.
Now, why would this have anything to do with what we're talking about? It has everything to do with what we're talking about because I really believe that we've got to take our power back, right? When it comes to being informed, being aware, being knowledgeable. Man, so how does my cousin know about this game? That's blowing me. That's blowing me on this. Hold on, pause.
Sorry, I was trying to find it. Yeah.
No. Let me think of another word. Because that was a bit much. But nevertheless, he knows about the game.
A game called Werewolf.
There it is. There it is.
Okay, I'm gonna have him just listen.
You can't put the video up? It's a YouTube link. You don't want to do it.
No. It's just
no. Everyone gets a piece of paper.
I see him in the feed, but the link. Hold on, I want to know about it, you guys. This is why I'm trying to. It came to my phone, and I'm trying. Oh, you know what? I could probably go to my history now that I played it. Hold on, history. Give me a second. Okay. It's the one with how many views does it have, Jason?
Millions of views.
Okay, so 17 million. This has to be it. But it's a short. Is it a short?
There's one that's a short, there's one a little bit longer, but you can just
let's do the short. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Here we go, guys. We're gonna be done after this, but let's now tell us why we're tie this in before I play it. While I
tie in is this. A lot of what we're dealing with right now is an informed minority pulling the strings for the majority.
Period. Informed minority. Okay.
Yes, pulling the strings. And we're dealing with this every day. We're dealing with this with our expectations for spouses. We're dealing with this with our expectations for what I should be doing at this point in my life, blah, 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 right? And what we're losing in the process is we're losing ourselves. We're losing ourselves in the process. We're losing the organic nature of who we are. And so one of my biggest things is always protecting you at the end of the day, protecting your mind, protecting your abilities, protecting kind of your insight, right? Protecting your voice. Because you do have a voice and your voice matters. It's how we utilize that said voice. And so we have to become, I'm a firm believer in this, is that I either become a part of the problem or the solution. Okay. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no middle ground. Okay. So but being aware of this, being knowledgeable that they're playing sides, they're playing shit against each other.
Who's they?
Who's they? That's a podcast for a whole nother topic. That's
okay, so okay, let me play the video. Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever heard of a game called Werewolf? No. Everyone gets a piece of paper. It's either got villager written on it, but 2 have the word werewolf. Someone runs the game to make sure no one's cheating, and they go, okay, it's nighttime, everyone close your eyes. Werewolves choose someone to kill, and the werewolves go. They say, okay, everyone close your eyes. It's morning time. Open them again. During the night, Francis was killed. There's then a conversation, and this is where it gets interesting, between all the villagers and the 2 werewolves over who the werewolves are. Then at the end of the day, the villagers have to decide who they're going to kill. And they say, well, we're going to kill Constantine. It's revealed by the person running the game, I'm afraid Constantine was a villager. and the game continues.
Mm-hmm.
The villagers win the game if they kill both werewolves. The werewolves win the game if they kill all but 2 villagers. And the werewolves usually win. The game was invented by a student of sociology in Russia who wanted to prove his thesis that an uninformed majority will always lose a battle of information against an informed minority. So that just shows when you have hidden information, you can completely manipulate a large group of people. Have you ever heard of a game called Werewolf?
No.
Everyone gets a piece of paper.
So
there's a longer narrative. He talks about this, right? And goes into the thought process and then what's been used or how that's been weaponized, right? So this is where this podcast and the things that we're talking about is always to bring awareness. And it's not so much to say it's my point or no point. No. But if we add a little bit more information to what you're factoring in, so that then you can make an informed decision about whatever the fuck it is that you're dealing with, right? I believe that's valuable. So
at the end, what did he say at the end? An informed what? Minority or majority?
An informed minority will always win against an uninformed majority.
Okay, so informed minority. But he then followed it up with hiding information.
Yeah, so the informed minority, they're informed. They're aware of what's going on. The uninformed majority doesn't have a clue what the fuck is going on. So when you mix those two groups together, more often than not, the people who are aware can steer shit right where it's supposed to
manipulate it.
Yeah, they can steer it because it doesn't take that much.
To be aware is the point.
Yeah. So awareness, understanding, tapping into truth about who you are, what your state is, kind of what your how these things affect you or whatnot. And then the things that we're bringing into everything that we deal with, from our families to our relationships, whatever, right? Is that we have a lot of shit that we're adding into. But most of that stuff is really not necessary. And I think a lot of it, we got to start deprogramming, right? And so that we can now actually upload the right type of program for us. So my standpoint is always, man, be informed in any way. So the shit that we talked about tonight is just pieces of a puzzle. Take pieces that you can utilize and use them if you can. And if not, then that's cool too. But that's the basis of it. That's the basis of why I think it's important. We can talk about that in another podcast about what I really believe is happening, because we can get into the creature from Jekyll Island. That's a storyline. That was a book that was written that talks about the Federal Reserve, all the shit that goes on with that. Man, this thing, it goes deep. It goes hella deep.
And I'll tell you this, for me, yeah, we'll talk about it later. My thing is my brain goes on overload. I feel like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I want to be informed to a certain degree. Like, I'm okay with information, but it has to be relatable. And I don't want to just sit and talk about information. That's just me. But I know that this is where when I talk about the maturity level, like, it doesn't matter how old I am. Like, it's just some shit. I'm just like, okay, we could talk about this shit till we blue in the face. What is it gonna change? I always get stuck right there, and nobody can prove to me after years and years and years. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is how you view things, and then if you want to use the concept of that, how you view things will change your life and how you move. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine, right? But you gotta meet people where they're at, and so you have to make things relatable on a day-to-day basis. You can't just talk. It's gotta make sense. And when we talk about being informed, that I don't vote. Okay, so I've always said that. I have voted twice, and it was just for Obama, and it was just because I needed to. Period. But nobody in my family votes. So my thing is, I'm like debating on if I'm going to vote for Kamala or not. Like, if I'm going to vote or not. I don't know. I'm to the point now where fuck it. Like, what difference is it gonna fucking make? I don't get it. If I vote and I register to vote, you know how I got fucked? They started calling me all of a sudden when I registered to vote. After all these years, I've never voted. All of a sudden, when I register to vote, what happens? I get called twice for jury duty. Bitch, because I voted, nigga, now I've added myself to this motherfucking pool and I got chosen twice. I gotta go to work. I don't give a fuck about guilty, nigga. I don't give a damn. Like, I should have. My husband's like, that's what you get. See, I should have never voted. Like, what the hell? But anyway, okay, bye. We gotta go.
Did you say guilty?
Everybody's
I gotta
guilty.
go back to work.
Everybody's guilty. They'd be like, you could go. Okay, thank you. Shit. It's about a murderer. My dad was a murderer. Anything else? Okay, have a good day. Shit. Okay, they said, okay, that's why I never did it. Look, LOL. Okay, so here we go. Hi, Marianne. Okay, gonna look up Werewolf Gay. Okay. Look, don't play it, Marianne. Do not play it without permission. He just wants you to look it up. Do not let me find out you was playing it next week.
It's just information to help you to realize, and I'll give you guys, all of us, here's one major tie-in that's affecting us all every day.
Mm-hmm.
The food that we fucking eat is killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
So is the air.
Listen.
So is the water.
Listen. So is the food.
So is
if you
microisms.
Who?
I don't know. What's the shit that just
say that word again?
Is a microism a word?
A microism?
Is that a word? Somebody talk to me. Raymond, call him right now. Raymond, help.
A microism?
Is that a word? Marianne said, okay. All right, so
but listen, but it is important, and it's little shit that we can start doing to like reclaim our space and reclaim yourself, reclaim your health, and have a say in what is going on, right? And I think that's the biggest part. You said what's going to change. The biggest thing that needs to change is just me.
Yeah, that's where you gotta get. That's for somebody like me. That's where it lays at. I don't give a fuck about everybody else. Tell me how this is gonna help me tomorrow, bitch.
So we make the adjustments, and I call it we pivot with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I make every step I take, every move I make is a pivot with intentionality in mind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who I'm dealing with, who I don't deal with, where I go, where I don't go, intentionality in mind.
Right.
Because,
thank you guys for coming.
It's my responsibility. So anyway,
all right, y'all. We won't be here next week. We'll be here the week after. Next week is our week off, but we'll be here the week after that. All right, love you, cuzzo. We gone, y'all.
Man.
Bye. Make sure to hit the like button and share us out.
And share.
Yeah, that's what we say.
Shiggity.
All right, peace out. Bye, Raymond. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Oh, thanks for sliding, bro. Thanks for sliding.